Access the kitchen and food cost cockpit via the side menu or landing page. All other features displayed here are in our introduction knowledge base article and video tutorial. For the purposes of this video, I will be the executive chef at this property. In the view options, I choose food cost, and the current month is September. Dates that are written in the color purple means a national holiday. This is country specific and does not include Christmas Day and New Year's Day. The food cost cockpit is designed to assist me manage the food cost and plan the daily purchases so that it's more in line with the food revenue stream. The graph represents the food purchase pattern. You have your forecast and budget figures in here as well. The data table displays the purchase and inventory data that is manually entered by myself or the sous chef. Normally, I would look at 2 to 3 days collectively when viewing either the graph or this data table. In the view options here, I usually have it on month end as it's important to keep track. It's not always easy to keep track on the single days, so this is what I prefer. In the inventory section here on the data table, we have the current turnover days, which is actually 4 days. I have the opening stock, which was my last month's closing stock, and then the actual closing inventory for this month, for the month of September, as well as the past stock. A little bit about turnover days. Best practice recommends a good inventory turnover between 5 and approximately 10 days. This indicates that you sell and restock inventory every 1 to 2 months. This ratio is a good balance between having enough inventory on hand and not having to reorder too frequently. And that is good for your pocket and great for the environment. So to add a purchase, you add it in the purchase column. And for today, on Wednesday, I've actually received my dry goods order, and that was for 801 euros. So I can go ahead and insert it manually. And as you see there to the left, the blue bar just went up for today as well. So I have another purchase I actually need to add. It's for a future event for tomorrow. It's a baby gender reveal party at the property. It was a total of 799 euros. So I'll actually just add it in, and then I will make a little note here to explain what it is for my general manager to see. And as with everything else in PMI, don't forget to save. Let's do a quick recap of the daily routines in the cockpit. I do my very best to add in the purchases as soon as I've received my deliveries. This way I have up-to-date figures in the system so that I control my purchases and food cost percentage. Make sure you are in the food cost view. Add the total cost for deliveries received in the purchase column. If there is a large purchase that you intend using on a future event, but you don't want it to impact the current food cost percentage, you can add it on the future date in the purchase column. It will have no effect on your current food cost percentage. Always great to add in a comment so that you're able to keep track of what it was, and don't forget to save. Then you can actually click on month to date just to get a little bit of an overview as to what the food cost looks like for the month so far. Moving on to month-end routines. This can be done on the first working day of the new calendar month. Make sure you are in the food cost view. Go back to the month that just passed, which would be August, and insert the actual closing inventory. Then save. What you want to do then is go back to the current month, September, and add the closing stock from August as the opening stock for the current month. Then you want to copy the same figures into closing, and don't forget to save. Access the budget and forecast module. Ensure that you are looking at the kitchen department. Click on the view options. In the calculate column, choose between calculating food cost in percentage or food cost in value. Normally, you calculate food cost value from your food cost percentage target, so the recommended view option here is food cost value. Then you need to revise, submit the monthly forecast. So if you are doing the inventory monthly, when you have the current value of your stock, remember to update the closing from the previous month. This becomes your opening stock for the current month. When you start a new month, opening and closing stock is exactly the same. You always need to enter a closing in the current month to have the food cost percentage calculated. The food cost percentage is calculated of total food consumption, so both the purchases and movement in the stock is included. So if you raise your stock during the course of the month, remember to always update closing. If you are consuming a lot of your stock during the month, remember to update the closing with a lower stock. You don't have to do the inventory, but change the closing value with the amount you think you have added or used to your stock. This task could be on the financial controller's checklist, so be sure to check what your property's routines are. And as always, don't forget to save. More information on the Labor Cockpit can be found in our knowledge base article and video tutorial series. Thank you and take care.